Hello everyone, and welcome to episode 2 of Production School. In today's episode, I'm going to be showing you how to set up a MIDI controller so that way you could be able to record MIDI notation inside of FL Studio. Now, I know it's been a while since I last uploaded the basics of FL Studio. I've been busy, and then I had microphone problems and a bunch of other stuff. I'm not even going to go there, but I'm back, and this is basically a how-to on how to set up a MIDI controller before I get into the advanced stuff such as recording in FL Studio, playing notes in FL Studio using a MIDI controller, and it would just make your lives easier if you have one plugged in. So, obviously you're going to want to get out your MIDI controller out of the box, assuming you just bought one, and plug it into your computer. The best way to do that is through a USB port. However, some can go through a line in, but it's really recommended to do USB. If you don't know how to plug something into your computer via USB, I can't help you at this point. It's totally up to you to figure that part out. So, assuming you have everything plugged in, before you actually get to FL Studio, you're going to want to go to the respective manufacturer's website of your MIDI controller and download the drivers. So for me, it'd be USB audio, MIDI controller, and, MIDI interface, keyboard controllers. I have an Axiom 25, and then you just pick your operating system, which is all the way down here. For my case, Windows 10 64-bit. I already have it downloaded, so I'm actually not going to download it. However, you will have to, depending on your setup. So once you have the drivers downloaded and installed, we're going to jump back to FL Studio, and this is where we're actually going to get into setting it up. So FL Studio recognizes everything, and it works. So you're going to want to scroll over to your top left here where it says Options, click it, and go to MIDI Settings. Or you can just push F10 on your keyboard, whichever works for you. I personally like to click because my keyboard's a pain to get to. Opening MIDI Settings will bring up this menu here. This stuff down here, we're not going to worry about for this video, so just ignore it. We're going to be focusing on this input menu right here. So, I have an Axiom 25, as I said, and you can see, because I have it properly set up beforehand, it shows up. So all I would have to do, assuming you've downloaded the drivers and whatnot correctly, all you do is click on Axiom 25 MIDI in, and click Enable. Now that it's enabled, whichever channel you have, you can just start pushing buttons, and it'll work. Here's an example. Here's an example of me just playing different pitches of a kick using my MIDI controller. Now, for some reason, let's say you open this menu and you don't see these two options. Well, there's a chance that you opened FL Studio first before turning on your MIDI controller. It's happened to people. Don't worry, it's a quick fix. All you do is if you don't see it and you know it's functioning properly and whatnot, just go to refresh device list. That'll rescan your computer for any MIDI controller that you have plugged in, and it should show up here. And then, as I said, once it works, well, congratulations, you're ready to start recording. But let's say it doesn't show up, and you have the drivers installed and a bunch of other stuff. If that happens, there's a good chance you have some kind of problem with your controller or your computer in general, and your best bet would be to go to the manufacturer's website again and ask to see if they have a support forum related to your specific controller. Another place you can go is the image line forums. However, to be able to access these forums, you do have to own a legit copy of FL Studio. So if you pirated it, I'm sorry, there's not much I can do. It's just, Image Line's way of stopping the piracy of their products, which you should be buying this anyway. But yeah, that's about it for this quick lesson. Honestly, it was a short one, but I felt it was an important one to cover before I go any further in this, because it just makes life easier. If you're still having problems or just want to ask me a question in general, feel free to leave a comment down below. I'll also leave my Facebook page in the description as well, so if you want to message me there, by all means, go for it. So, yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next lesson.